if you like being near the basket, if you like scoring at the basket, if you like defending around the basket, you're probably more likely to be a center. But it's the three positions in between those two that take a little bit more nuance to decide what position you should play and why. So now let's try to define what those positions do to help you decide which position you should play. Shooting guard seems like a very obvious choice, a very obvious position if you like shooting. So if you're a shooter, right, and you like scoring the ball from a shooting position, shooting the ball around or near the perimeter, then you're probably apt to be a shooter. That's obvious, but however, don't think that that's all there is to being a shooting guard. You're not just a shooting guard for the sake of shooting. There's a very specific reason as to why you're supposed to shoot. You're shooting so that you can stretch the defense out. So for those beginners of you that don't understand yet, right, if you don't have shooters on your team, if there's not players on your team that can shoot from mid-range at least out to the perimeter, then there would be no reason for the defense to ever leave the paint area, right? Because if your team can't shoot, if the only way they can score is to go to the basket and try to get layups, then why should the defense ever leave around the basket? Obviously, they can't just park themselves, you know, in the paint, because that would be 5 seconds. But when you're talking about out here at the park, nobody ever calls 5 seconds anyway. So if you're playing out here at the park and you don't have any shooters on your team, then why should the defense ever leave the paint? They would just wait for you down there and contest you whenever you get close to the basket. And if you're playing organized basketball, then they'll just wait just outside of the paint, and they're not going to guard you, because if you can't shoot and they know it, they're not going to leave the paint. They're going to stand right on the lines, on the key, right? And they're going to stand there and wait for you to shoot and miss and get rebounds and not guard you, because why should they if they don't have to? So it's the shooter, the two guard, the shooting guard, it's their responsibility to keep the defense honest, to stretch out the defense, stretch the defense away from the paint, so that when now the defense is guarding each individual player, especially the shooter, right? Now you're spacing the floor, you're creating passing lanes and cutting lanes for your teammate. So if you like to shoot and you like to draw a defender to you so that they have to defend you, creating space between your teammates and the basket, then you're probably apt to be a shooting guard. Also, obviously, you have to be good at shooting to be a shooting guard, so keep that in mind as well. Now, when we talk about a small forward playing the three position, to me, that's probably the most interesting basketball position there is, because the three doesn't necessarily have anything that they are a master of, right? They don't have any real speciality. We'll get to a possible speciality in a second, but overall in general, the three is kind of there to help out wherever needed. The small forward has to be good at passing the ball, at shooting the ball, at getting rebounds,